this, right? Like, I am obligated to break this.
Right.
So I think it just played really well to the Mighty Unjust. Command grab again. Going to extend with some Movado. And a nice little bounce here. Now, I mean, look, man, this is what the character does, right? Throws you in the corner, makes you guess. Saw that coming a mile away. I also feel like it wasn't really a good time to use that armor. And, you know, specifically because it wasn't Mighty's turn to swing. Mighty did his string. He did his 2-hit string. And then afterwards, Bandino's just kind of armored back. Maybe he was thinking that low spike was coming and he didn't want to guess, or that maybe command grab was coming and he didn't want to guess. But it just seems like you got to pick your opportunities to armor a little bit better. You know, I personally think the best time to armor is when your opponent thinks it's their turn, mainly when you yourself, as the person doing the armor, is at a huge frame disadvantage. So if you're like, put yourself in -4, -5, -6, not really punishable, hey, armor back because my opponent thinks that I'm not going to do anything. My opponent thinks I'm going to sit here and block.
Yeah, exactly. And that just wasn't one of those situations. Like you said, Mighty had already put his string out, and Mighty's like one of those people, he'll like give the respect. He takes his turn back, but he picks and chooses in very, very specific moments to try to take his turn back.
Oh,
we're just starting with it.
Nobody was there. Nobody was home. I mean, did he think that like maybe a puddle approach was happening?
Possibly.
Okay, now let me talk about Bandino's and what he does. He prides himself, or oh, I'm sorry, not Bandino. The entire community prides Bandino's on their ability to OS and to just kind of fuzzy block in terms of like when a grab is coming versus when a poke is coming. So being able to block when the poke is coming and then letting go of block by the time that the grab comes in, which is usually a little bit slower. And that's kind of why you saw range twitching there just a little bit, because Bandino's is kind of holding on to block, letting go of block, holding on to block, letting go of block at those specific timings. And it got him out of there. And while I was just kind of, you know, priding Bandino's on how good he is at OSing, he's just getting destroyed by the Mighty Unjust.
Oh my gosh. I mean, Mighty Unjust here, sitting on set point, set round right now, has Bandino's in the corner. Not sure what setups he keeps going for there in the corner in the different stance, but able to get the low Movado. Just pressure. Bandino's doing a good job blocking, but you can only block for so long before you just get command grab launched. Damage in the corner. You're going again. All right, how you waking up? What's the guess? Tries to poke out. Big punish. Forces the breaker. Bandino's still in the corner, but Mighty Unjust is backing up a little bit. No longer has those resources that he had. All right.
Ooh, spike at full screen. At that range, I don't really think there's much Rain can do other than approach. I don't know how that boot didn't find Rain's head. The overhead does get blocked. Bandino's with a clean back throw. Janet for the extension. Good damage here, nearly 20%, and a nice jump in.
Gets
able to block the mine!
Oh my god, I thought he was going to get caught by the mine. So much going on here. Gets another throw. Not doing a ton of damage each time, but it's chipping away here at Mighty Unjust. Armor's out, 10 seconds left. Mighty Unjust with a large life lead. No more bar for either of them to break either. 4, 3. Oh, it's not enough. Mighty Unjust is winning over Bandino's 3-2. What a set there. And Mighty Unjust is going to be moving on to meet Tweedy in winners finals.
Super close. I mean, down to the wire. Like it was just super close. And again, these players are pretty familiar with each other. And you know, if you look at just their competitive history, Mighty, you know, Evo finalist, Mighty Unjust, super top player during MK11, during, you know, the first year of MK1, already established. Where Bandino's is the younger player, I believe only at 18 years old, trying to make a name for themselves, putting in so much work, and even just going to actual offline events. Like I said, Bandino's winning DreamHack Atlanta over Gur in Grand Finals. And, you know, it was close. This could have gone either way. And it's really cool to see Bandino's just kind of sticking it out with, you know, their tried and true main as Rain. Because I know during the pro comp climb during the qualification climb, Bandinos did switch over to T1000 for a few matchups versus specific players or certain characters. But right there at the end, that last little play from Bandinos just bet it all on that, completing the entire string. And that's going to be setting up our winners finals, which we are going to have broadcasted here. Tweety versus the Mighty Unjust. Tweety's back. And
Tweety is back.
Tweety is back. That's all I can say, man.
I love to see it, man. I'm so happy to see Tweety back because I feel like a lot of the newer players as well that came maybe towards the end of MK11, maybe with MK1, don't necessarily know Tweety, don't know Tweety's gameplay, maybe know him as a content creator, as the Baraka Kano player. But this is Tweety. This is tournament Tweety. This is competitive Tweety, and he's back, and I absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, and it's. I feel like it's also, you can kind of talk a little bit about how Tweety took that step back for a little bit, focusing on the content creation, focusing on the streaming, even breaking out into like playing other games, and just kind of casually playing Mortal Kombat 1, while keeping everything, super sharp, making sure that because the fundamentals are always going to be there. I feel like when you look at brackets like this, you're always going to see those veterans who, not to say that you don't have to put in the time, you absolutely do. Like, you can't just be good, a great player from 12, 13, 14 years ago and just think like, oh, I can jump right into the new game. I don't have to play with, these top players, that top player, and I'm going to be good again. Like, you have to put in the time, but your potential is there. If you're a super good player, if you were a super good player back then, put in the time and you will be a super good player again. And Tweety's just showing that perfectly.
He really is.
So we are going to be going to a quick break, but don't go anywhere. The action is getting better, and we have so much more Mortal Kombat coming your way. Stay right there.
Your shape-shifting is so elegant, so refined.
It makes us more efficient killers.
Fight!
Have you seen John Connor?
John Connor? Dude, you've got Johnny Cage.
You're not a man. You're a machine.
A T1000 advanced prototype, liquid metal.
Finish him! Fatality. T1000 wins. Flawless victory.
Have you two been practicing my lessons?
As we can. The harvest leaves us little time for martial arts.
Since your first words, Kung Lao, you've mouthed nothing but excuses. If you fail to prepare...
Your preparations will fail.
Finish him. Flawless victory.
Hill got caught in the fatal blow, Zap! You're joking. Unbreak! That is going to be the end of Combo Breaker.
Hey guys, welcome to the combat. Welcome back to this awesome brag that we have going. And I mean, guys, so far it has been insane. This top 8 has been crazy. I mean, look at the bracket itself. It's just, the players are crazy. And we're down to just 6 players left here. We've got on the winner's side of winners finals, we've got Tweety and Unjust, and then Bandino, Sunio, Ninja Killa, and Kukoi are still fighting for their spot. It's going to be great to see these players playing and how they adjust, adapt. A lot of these players are able to play multiple different characters. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some crazy stuff coming out of left field. I don't know. How are you feeling about it so far, Arma?
I mean, this is crazy. This is the most competitive region in the entire world when it comes to Mortal Kombat 1. I mean, I think mainly because this is a very densely populated area in the United States. You know, you have Mighty Unjust and El Kukui, who are twin brothers, both from New Jersey. The whole East Coast, super populated. And, you know, we have some other players through, you know, even a little bit deeper away from the East Coast, but still, you know, technically in this region. Tweety representing Indiana in winners finals, Mighty Unjust from northern New Jersey. And it's just, this is where you're at your pure comfort zone. You know, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about like any kind of screaming audience or lights or camera on you. It's just you in the game. You focus, you lock in, and try to be the best. Right now we have 2 T1000s ready to clash it out.
We really do.
In a T1000. And speaking of all those great things that I just described, being in the midst of it all, there are tons of events that you can still register for right now that are coming up on the Pro Competition Tour. We have Brussels Challenge coming up at the end of May. Right after that, on Memorial Day weekend, we've got Combo Breaker in Chicago. We've got CEO down in Orlando. That's Father's Day weekend, if anyone wants a frame of reference or want to make sure you don't forget anything. Father's Day weekend right there, CEO. And then the just 1 week after that, we've got Blink Respawn in the Dominican Republic. So if you want to make a great vacation, head down to the Caribbean during a great season to see anything out there like the DR or anything down there in those islands, check out Blink Respawn. Las Vegas, a huge selling point when it comes to going to the biggest fighting game tournament in the entire world. When you head over to EVO, registration is still open. That's happening in August. And then after that, the final Pro Competition offline stop is going to be Versus Fighting out in Europe, August 15. So those are the names of the events. go find their Start GGs, register now. You're still able to compete. You're still able to get those points if you are that sweaty. But even if you aren't that sweaty, it is amazing, a great experience to go out to a real offline event and just see your favorite players duking it out on a stage, hearing the crowds roar as, you know, players drop combos, as players make these crazy conversions. Like, if you've never been to an offline event, you need to get out there. As we said before, we got the winners finals already set up, Tweety versus Mighty Unjust, but we're going to go down to the lower side of things. We've got Bandinos going up against Sunio. Sunio, by far the oldest player in this top 8, turning 40 years old in 2 days.
You're really throwing that at him today.
Let me clear the air. Let me clear the air. The only reason I said that is because Sunio tweeted that there's no way these young kids are letting me qualify here. Like, he is literally twice the age as one of the competitors in this top 8.
The one he's going against right now, right?
That's right. Bandino is 18 years old. Sunio, 39 and almost 40 years old. Look, when Sunio was out playing Mortal Kombat 9 on stream against some of the best players in the world, Bandinos wasn't even in kindergarten yet. Like, let me put that into perspective. Like, this is insane. And I'm so tired of hearing this old man argument that old men can't react. That's absolute bullshit. Like, as we're seeing it right here. I'll say it with my whole chest. This is the most competitive region when it comes to Mortal Kombat 1. And Sunio qualified. Sunio is here in this matchup. Sunio is here fighting for that spot and can still absolutely do it.
Yeah, I mean, here we go into it, Sunio. I mean, that's a lot of praise for him. I feel like I got to bang for Bandinos now.
Go for it. Go for it. I dare you. I dare you to try. Bandino's looking great here. Does get that final hit. And, you know, we saw so impressive when it comes to, you know, the OSing. And I think that's going to be something that Sunio needs to realize when he does get up close against Bandinos. Yeah, I have the same freeze here. I don't know if that's the match. That's a quitality.
We had a quitality.
Obviously not a rage quitality, but maybe more of a quitality in terms of connection stability. So please bear with us, guys. That is the fun thing about online events. We got a lot more moving pieces. So we got to just kind of wait with it and, you know, bide our time, if you will. But no, speaking of, you know, we were talking about Bandinos, literally 18 years old. Mm-hmm. Super young player. I believe Mortal Kombat 1 was their first competitive Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
And
he definitely played in MK11. I saw him like kind of coming up through MK11, playing on like Shiryu TV and like a couple of the online tournaments and stuff. And he's definitely just taken off during MK1. This has been like his showing. Was it him who beat Gur at Texas Showdown?
I don't remember Texas Showdown, but I don't remember if that's
Pure. I'm thinking Pure.
Yeah, that was Pure. No, but you're right. Actually, I sent Bandinos a few. I sent all the players a few questions on Twitter to kind of get to know a little bit more about them. So Bandinos, I asked, what was your first Mortal Kombat versus your first competitive Mortal Kombat? For some reason, I don't know if it's like the age group, but almost everybody said their first Mortal Kombat was MK vs. DC. Which was the last 3D Mortal Kombat, which is the last Mortal Kombat made by Midway at that time. So before Midway formed into NRS at the start of Mortal Kombat 9, they made MK vs. DC. It was a 3D fighting game. I don't know the nicest way to put it. It had a lot of very cool, flashy things, but as a competitive game, you know, it didn't. It had a lot of broke stuff in it. Let me tell you.
It did.
I had a lot of broken stuff, including Green Lantern could combo off of his own breaker. So when you break, when you're comboing Green Lantern, I believe if you either had to be in the air or on the ground, but if he breakers, he can punish you by grabbing you with Lantern's Might. And yeah, that was totally fair. Totally
Very
fair.
fair game, balanced, good game. That
Good
played
game.
really well online.
So Bandit, that was his first MK versus the first MK was MK versus DC, which is awesome. You know, you see the Mortal Kombat characters, you see Batman, you see Superman, Flash, Wonder Woman. It's if you're a little kid, it's incredible. You're just like, holy crap! Like Batman is beating the crap out of Scorpion. So Bandinos does stream from time to time, but currently in a break, mainly to focus on, you know, competing for pro competition. And, you know, it's weird because, like, you know, when you stream, it's a totally different mindset when it comes versus like when you're grinding out matches and learning matchups and trying to get better. So it's kind of weird to see the contrast with like some players love streaming, like Tweety streams literally every day, but I feel like he's so comfortable with streaming that it doesn't even faze him anymore. There's a good chance Tweety could be streaming right now, but maybe could be locked in instead.
Yeah, I believe I saw him tweeting out whether he was going to decide whether to stream or not. Oh, are we hopping in?
We're hopping
in. It's starting. I also did want to note, we didn't notice out at the start there, Bandino's running the Sub-Zero cameo. Try to help with some of the projectiles going on here. Be able to hopefully trade for some of his own projectiles back, because Rain does have a decent projectile game, but I mean, Sector is just throwing missiles all over the screen.
Yeah, and I think what Bandinos is giving up, as you can see here, the throw isn't really going to do 20% anymore. Giving that up because the only ambush that Sub-Zero has is the vest, and it's just a passive defense to get around zoning and projectiles. So I think he really is eliminating a huge portion of what players are scared of when they fight against Bandinos. Hurting really hard here. And Sunio, that was so smart to go with the long poke, because if he went with a short poke, Bandinos would have easily whiff punished. But Sunio's called out that backdash and just said, no, you're not going anywhere. That's going to be a super punish. A stand 1-1 from Bandinos. Doesn't want to spend any resources to extend any more than he has to, and he's just waiting for the straight hit.
Yeah, and there it is. Goes ahead, get out of the sky, sniped out of the sky. This Sub-Zero armor is working really well, and even though we aren't getting those Janet Cage extensions, I feel like also we're seeing Bandinos has a lot less throws than he's going for. He's kind of going for a much different style of gameplay. Good job holding the pressure there. Blocks again, gonna get a side switch here. Get a setup in the corner.
Yeah, hits him with that big back three.
Oh, ooh, gets caught. Not able to get the conversion off of it. Again, good checking mid. Oh. Alright, both of them are just trying to get a hit right now. Sunio opting for the grab.
Oh.
Good tech.
Yeah, that's absolutely, that's like pure I mean, again, Bandinos, the king of OSing, like there is a very specific OS that I feel like Bandinos is using, where you let go of block, hit the button, and then block again. And during your let go, so basically during your let go of block animation, you can input a tech without committing to an entire button. And you see players like Bandinos doing it all the time. Getting right through with the vest on, don't have to worry about the projectiles. But again, Sunio's so good at challenging that approach, at saying, you know what, I'm not just gonna hold back. I'm gonna go forward when I feel like it and throw you when I feel like it.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Bandinos had like 3 tech throws in a row since he failed. 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Sunio just gonna back off, finish it off. What was that?
Taunting. He's taunting. That was 2 taunts right there in that round. So the first taunt he tried to cancel out with the Motaro teleport, and the second one he just did. He just did because he felt like it, because he said, there's no way you can hurt me in time to win this round. So Sunio is literally just trying to get in Bandino's head right now.
I mean, Sunio, like we were saying, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter, he will fatal, he will brutal, he will teabag you. Anything you can do to get in the other opponent's head, though.
I love the switch over from Sunio. Like, he threw those 2 projectiles, the vest came on, and he said, all right, let's go. Like, let me jump in there and fight you. Backing off, going in, and faking out the going in. So you can wear down the vest. So the vest actually, I believe it absorbs 5 hits, but it's also a combination of time. So those 5 hits go down to 4, 3, 2, and 1 after some duration. So the longer the vest is on, the less hits it can take. Overhead.
Overhead. So slow, but just get cracked by it. You're looking for so many other things that might be happening. We're gonna get a combo extension here with the Sub-Zero freeze set up on Wake Up. That's the overhead rock and just a back throw by Sunio getting out.
And look at the approach here. And this matchup, you're definitely going to see, even though you're battling back with the Sub-Zero vest, like, you are losing a lot of time. that was such great patience there by Sunio to just kind of wait for that Motaro turret, knowing that that last shot is going to come in and save him, teleporting at the perfect moment. And, you know, it's kind of crazy, like, this design. The fact that you have a character that is going for projectiles after projectiles after projectiles, and then accompanied with a Motaro, like, it's giving you a way out. But then during all this, at any time, at any moment, whether they're in the air, on the ground, a teleport can come your way and just like ruin you. And you're just like, I'm trying to get in, I'm trying to counter zone, I'm trying to do anything. You know, but obviously the teleport is super unsafe. You know, you do have options, you know, with the important part is you have options. You have options besides zoning. And I think that's what's making Sector seem like such a threat right now. That it's not just, oh, I got to get in. Or it's not just like, let me throw this cameo on and counter zone. Like, no, you have to respect. And that's another option here I didn't even get to. The fact that you can teleport and then Motaro teleport away back. And you're still good.
Yeah, and I mean, like, also the air command that Sector is going to be able to have makes it a lot harder, it seems like, for Bandinos, like, unless he's getting a hard knockdown to set up any of the whirlpools on the ground. Because, as we saw, Sunio was just hopping right over them, throwing all the projectiles, but Bandino's running away with it here. A lot of pressure, gets the setup on Wake Up. Good blocks by Sunio, chooses to armor out, gets out with the Motaro, and is going to get a lot of damage himself.
Yeah, so normally, whenever you armor out of something and then extend it, in this game, it scales like crazy. So that combo, you know, it was definitely worth it because afterwards, the position for him to get out is so good. Like, just get out, have the breathing room, and, you know, just apply what you can. Unfortunately for Sunio, he is going to be going down this round. Bandino's big buttons coming his way. I love that little...
I love that. That's my first time I think I've seen that. I love that so much. He's just hopping along, man.
It reminds me of like Mary Poppins, just kind of like magically floating away. And I'm not in the middle of a fight for my life. There isn't blood all over the floor. Like, we're good. It's so funny.
If you can't frolic on some water in the middle of a fight, is it really worth it?
Yeah. What is the point of having these powers if you can't just frolic on someone once in a while?
Exactly.
Frolic on this overhead.
Do damage on them. Yeah. Watch this setup. All right. Block it.
Nope.
Just gets the throw.
Regular throw, you know, not the 40% we're used to seeing with Janet, or even 20% we're used to seeing with the conversion, but still, it's gonna be a threat. Getting Motaro out of that situation here, and I believe that was a Motaro teleport on Wake Up, but because Bandinos had big buttons to not only cover Sector, but also the approach with Motaro coming in, he had nothing to worry about.
Yeah, no, that was a good cover-up. Well played right there. Where are we at? 1-1. I'm wondering if we're going to see... So I know Sunio has other options, but I don't see him switching, to be honest. Because I had seen him on the Peacemaker, but I feel like Sector just really, like we've been talking about, he's really good at, okay, I'm going to zone, I'm going to zone, I'm going to zone. I'm going to suddenly switch it up on you and be so in your face and pressuring, and then I'm out again. And it's kind of like, whoa, what happened? And it takes a lot of just being able, for the other player, Bandinos, being able to sit there, be patient, kind of pick apart what's happening, and work his way through the barrage that's coming at him.
So big highlights from game number 2. Bandino's calling out way more throws. Game number 1, Sunio was throwing them all day, every day, all kinds of, in almost every situation. And then the second time around, Bandino's like, all right, I'm going to call out those throws. I'm going to duck. So I think what's going to happen in this game, Sunio going to adapt and apply a lot more mids and maybe more just getting some real estate in those advantageous situations instead of just going for cheeky little throws. That was whiffing for days, but that's okay. We're going in with a conversion, teleport to pop them up over and over again. Gonna throw these projectiles right on top of you. A very aggressive, immediately, a much more aggressive demeanor I'm seeing from Sunio. Trying to hop out of there, couldn't really get a conversion, and Bandino's picking up on that really quick. Goes for the throw anyway? I did not expect that one bit.
Yeah, he was going for it anyways. Gets teched and then gets blown up for it at the end. Bandino's always looking to kind of get over to the corner, get some setups. Blocks Sunio down here, and that's exactly what he's doing. Sunio chooses to break. Interesting choice there.
Yeah, but like the choice before that also was to completely disrespect getting hit with down 1, and Bandino's calling it out perfectly, jailing with the immediate stand 1-1, and if Sunio did anything but block, he was going to get blown up for it. Sunio most likely looking for a throw in that situation.
Sunio looking to get a poke here. Oh, Bandino's, he gets a poke, gets the freeze, going to be able to get a setup. The blocks. Ooh, gets flushed. Full combo launcher coming here into the corner. Even more corner carry into... Wait, another setup?
This time a throw. Instead of putting the low puddle right on top of him, it decides to put it behind him, and, you know, because if it was right on top of him, you'd have to wait just a little bit to go for throw, because you can't throw anyone while they're in block stun. Overhead does successfully hit here. Now this does convert in some pretty good damage. This wasn't really armor coming through with the Motaro conversion. Instead, down 2, you can't break this. You can't break this. You cannot break this. The down 2 cancel. Ooh. And that's what's so risky about going for these throws when you're, you know, technically one combo away from dying. So in that situation, Sunio said, all right, you know what? I got 3 bars. Let me take this risk. And as long as Bandino's does not do down 2 cancel, I'm good. So whenever you down 2 and up cancel, you have no access to breaker, I believe, for like 4 or 5 seconds. You can breaker eventually. It's not like completely breaker free, that whole combo. It's like a time duration where your cameo is not available. So even though Sunio had those 3 bars, not able to break there.
Yep, and we heard the noise of him trying to break too. It was like, you're just waiting for that cameo bar back. Let's see what adjustments Sunio does going into this. Bandino's with first blood here, going ahead getting the flush, full setup into another. He decides to put the portal right on top this time. Kara cancel, throw. I mean, pressure is just insane here. Again, getting a pop-up. Bandino's running away with the round. Gonna have to close it out. One more hit.
Ooh, tries to go for the throw, but Sunio mashing back with down 1. Trying, you know, whether he gets this round or not, at least he's not in the corner.
Yeah,
at least he's got the real estate
true.
to work with. And, you know, that's really why you shouldn't give up in any kind of situation. Because you can build more meter, you can, you know, get a better position for the next round. And, you know, Sunio's just trying to do anything. Right now, there's no reason to end the round here. Bandino's just kind of hanging out. We're even going to use the Motaro turret for a free mix-up, and Bandino's blocking it like
Bandino's
nothing.
just happy to just sit there in the corner. He's just blocking blocks. Okay, yeah, I'll take the throw. That's fine. But 20 seconds is a long time to kill.
I mean, it seems like... Oh, he didn't commit. He didn't commit to it at all. Only 13 seconds left.
Oh, another throw? They're not even yet. 10 seconds.
No way. He makes his comeback.
Oh my god, the breaker.
He really bet it on breaker. He really bet it with breaker.
Wait, no.
That is so unfortunate.
That is so unfortunate.
So what happened? What happened there was that the Sub-Zero vest was on, so the flamethrower counts as a projectile. So the flamethrower got negated. The flamethrower got completely negated, and then it turned into this crazy scramble situation. And Sunio just dropped. That was Sunio's round.
Yeah,
he dropped the punish on the other side because Bandino's tried to swing, but the Motaro teleport put Sunio on the other side. What a heartbreaker. I'm still talking about it, and it happened a round ago.
It hurts, man. It hurts. It hurts to see because, like, Sunio, I mean, he was just so patient. Such a patient player. Wow, the respect. We're just going to sit in front of each other and stare at each other for a minute. But he just was able to, he was coming from a crazy life deficit and able to just take advantage of the time that he had, not throw anything any crazy out there, but ends up losing it right at the end. Trades.
Oh, poking back. So
that
that,
down 1.
now, that overhead is super slow in terms of, like, you know, just doing it raw right in front of somebody, not after any kind of, like, down 1 on hit. Like, if you're just doing it, you really have to condition someone to not press at all for that overhead to hit you.
And also, that water bubble has been helping a lot with the projectile chip as well. It's just something that adds up over time over the round. Is going to be the chip from Sector. Oh, we've got a back throw. 10 seconds again. We have a crazy round again. Oh no, Bandino's closing it out. Bandino's taking it 3-1 over Sunio. Unfortunately, that means that is the end of the run for Sunio here. Bandino's moving on to losers semi-finals. What a match.
That was a really, really good match there. I don't know how Bandino saw the throw in that bubble, and it was almost like, again, it's not a reaction. It's a straight up, like if you ever were questioning whether something was a reaction or a read, the fact that he ducked that during both players being in that bubble, 100% a read. He kind of just caught on to the tendencies of Sunio whenever he came up close like that. And I think one of Sector's greatest assets is that throw animation. It's very hard to see. It doesn't look like any other character's animation, and it's just like a weird little like hook grab right there, as you can see. But he ducked under it, and this is when he used that down to cancel to work around the breaker. That's what I was talking about when the vest negated the flamethrower.
Yeah, how unfortunate. Because that was Sunio's round for sure, but we've got Bandinos waiting in loser semis finals, waiting to play the winner of Ninja Killa versus El Kukui here.
El
Kukui.
I mean, I'm Hispanic, so I want to say that the origins of El Kukui's name is from the it's essentially the boogeyman of Latin America. So I'm Hispanic, so I say it with like the Hispanic enunciation, but I'm sure anyone can say it however they want. I've heard my name, my real life name said in many different accents. Miguel, Miguel. So, it's the same thing whenever I hear El Kukui, but I always think El Kukui.
Yeah.
So essentially he's the boogeyman. He's the boogeyman.
We'll see if he's Ninja Killa's boogeyman today. El Kukui has been on the Cyrex Arena. He was also playing some Cyrex Tremor at one point.
I mean, El Kukui is the same. It's funny because the boogeyman in many senses of literature or lore has shape-shifting abilities. So the boogeyman can always be anyone and anything, and I think that's a perfect name for a player like El Kukui, who has that tendency to just play, the flavor of the week, to play the character that they feel is the strongest right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if El Kukui picks out a whole different top tier against Ninja Killa. But I know that they do play together a lot. I know El Kukui was studying Conan for a while, mainly from Ninja Killa. Ninja Killa teaching El Kukui how to play Conan. And, that might come back to bite him. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are friends. These guys do play together a lot. So, literally 7 players are going to lose today, and only 1 player is going to get that final combat spot. So
it's hard. It's a hard one. It's hard on the players, but it's a lot of pressure. Makes for a lot of crazy games. And we do see the Cyrex Arena to start here out of El Kukui. He had hovered over Havoc before headed in there, so...
Yeah, I feel like El Kukui loves to go for that Havoc. I don't know if that's going to be like a specific thing in this matchup. I think Conan has a really good armor options to do with Havocs back to 2.
Yeah.
So that could have played a big part in this. So he doesn't guess, he doesn't guess right either one of those options here.
Nope.
Bye-bye meter, and hello meter.
Yeah,
Conan gonna have no access to any of that. And I believe this is gonna be one more guess here.
Oh yeah, guess for life. Gets it down 1. Oh, but just the anti-air on his jump out. I mean, if anything, Ninja Killa got out of the corner.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much a steamroll right there. That's kind of what you're going to see from Cyrex Arena. But guys, keep your eyes on the damage meter whenever Ninja Killa opens up with Conan, because that was just using 1 bar of Shujinko, and that was 37%.
Yeah, it's very fun to see all the different ways that you can apply Shujinko to Conan, because he's always leaving you in this like weird standing position before he actually launches you, and if Shujinko can you know, add that in whatever specific matchup. It's just so entertaining. Stand 3 into the Gabagoop.
And for any of you who are watching who might not know the Shujinko cameo, just because people don't tend to use him.
He dropped it. He dropped
This
it.
damage. I will explain in a second.
I mean, yeah, this is
Watch.
huge damage, but
Watch damage in life. Watch the life leave his entire body.
I mean, this is so heartbreaking because this all happened because of a drop. Like, he was not even supposed to be here today. Oh, he didn't punish because he thought he was going to do the follow-up down sword. And Ninja Killer one step ahead in the mind game. So when Conan does that uppercut, he can either let it rock by itself or he can come down with the follow-up. And I think, at least the thing that I lab specifically, if you forward dash and then punish, you can actually punish both those options without having to guess.
Yes. And
Oh boy.
Shujinko's just a crazy character for anyone to pick up, because Shujinko gets a different moveset. Every single person you're playing against, a different moveset, different optimal routes, different everything. So Ninja Killer going to be somebody who has to know every single character in the game and how to use Shujinko in every matchup. It's a different matchup every time, even more so. Oh, tried to go for an up block there. Doesn't get caught out. Here's the dream.
I love the challenge by El Kukui, just immediate, and even mixing it up a little bit, even in that grounded state, didn't go for any kind of combo afterwards or any kind of extension. Instead, just says, you know, I'm going to keep it a little different. I'm going to mix you up. Ninja Killer not respecting that stand 1 that usually comes afterwards, and El Kukui perfectly converting after, and I cursed him. I straight up cursed him.
You cursed him.
I cursed him. He was doing
He's coming
so good.
for you.
He was doing so good.
Kukui, you notice how I didn't say that.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, he was optimizing and being so tricky.
Yes.
And so hard to guess. And it's heartbreaking because I've seen El Kukui be in this situation before where, you know, you gotta look at the game that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was his game, it was his win.
Yeah.
He was like most likely going to win on the next guess, but because of an error, because you messed up, you know, people mess up, execution happens.
Yep.
So do you look at that situation as I won that game, I should stay on Cyrex, or I lost that game because I dropped something, I should move to a different character? I think that he's doing the right decision here by staying on Cyrex, knowing that was my game. I won that. I know how to win this. I don't have to do anything else. Don't switch it up. Don't overcomplicate things. I know I have a ton of options, but I can't get caught up on that. I got to believe in this pick. I got to believe in how I wanted to start this.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, like, the Cyrex wasn't doing too poorly for him, right? Like, he was contesting with Ninja Killer, he was taking rounds, so I don't see a reason to switch off of it either, necessarily at this point. Maybe if we get to 2-0, he'll consider it. But for right now, why stop what's working? Just make a couple adjustments.
That's all you need, just to adjust. Those are big buttons. You don't want to whiff anywhere. You don't want to whiff anywhere on the screen when you're going up against Conan, except like if you're full screen, I guess. Like those buttons reach out so far. Not only just those standing buttons, but also the jump-in buttons as well. Good challenge from El Kukui, converts right into the goop. Gonna be popping him up for a ride, even draining just a little bit of meter. El Kukui not really having much of his own. Armor's out of there because, hey, that's the only opportunity he's going to get to use that bar, so might as well use it, and that's going to be enough.
Right, Ninja Killer looking really strong here. Not really getting too flustered in these different Cyrex Arena setups or anything. Seems like, obviously, he's been looking out for this team, as most top players have been. Just trying to get his stray hits, whiff punish. Oh my god, it hits from so far.
And not only that, but it was like right before he landed, so El Kukui said, okay, it's my turn to approach, but that button hit so far and so fast.
It was fast, it hit his toes. Watch your toes. We've got Shujinko praying in the background. He's all ready to go with his cameo bar, and there it is. Gets the goop on you. Guys, just watch the damage. Watch it go up. Look at this. Hard knockdown. Just one more hit.
Ducked under, but didn't believe. Has this arena to continue the combo from the command grab. Gonna throw the Hex on him, draining that meter as much as he possibly can, not giving him access to any kind of breaker, and definitely gonna be using 2 bars to take an additional meter away from him. The buttons all over him. Ninja Killer going with just armoring out of there.
Oh my god, he just went for it. He just armored out of there.
Well, it's he guessed correctly with button versus command grab, but he didn't want to commit to anything like jumping out because El Kukui was like punishing that constantly. So he waited for that opportunity to be, oh, we're in, I wouldn't say like neutral, but no bombs are present. You're in my face. I don't want to guess. Here's the armor. Like, get off of me, please. And that goes back to what I was saying about Ninja Killer. Just very reactionary-based player. Like, right when you're in his face, right when you think it's okay to press something or make him guess, he will fight back with the right button, with the right option, the right armor.
Right.
And El Kukui going with a last-ditch effort here. T1000, who I actually surveyed all the top 8 players in today's bracket.
Yeah.
And a majority of them said T1000 is the best character in the game right now. And the character that came in second place was Cyrex. So El Kukui, hedging his bets and going with both characters.
Yeah, he likes his top tiers, but like we were talking about, both of Mighty Unjust and Kukui, they just have pretty much any character on lock ready to go if they think it's going to work better in a certain matchup or anything like that. They have a lot of characters that can play it at a high level right now. Oh my god, Shujinko gets the command grab, comes in, eat your own command grab, restand. We're going to have time to charge up the Shujinko during this combo.
Yeah, and that's kind of the synergy when it comes to Conan and Shujinko is Shujinko needs to charge up in order to steal your opponent's move, but because Conan has such big buttons, such huge forward advancing buttons, now that's how you deal with that Shujinko command grab. Neutral duck it. Don't jump it because you don't have time to punish, but neutral duck it and punish it accordingly because you're going to get the summoning animation coming from the character, coming from Conan.
Exactly. And I'm sure that they know these gaps too at this level too.
I mean, it worked the first time in El Kukui, and El Kukui was like, oh wait, hold on, I gotta duck that.
Yeah, he was like, hold on. Just opening up. Big damage, corner swap.
Yeah, the side switch, very important here from Ninja Killer. And those very late jump attack combos are very easy to screw up. Catching him over-committing here with those buttons. El Kukui was not there yet. Opted to go for a delay wake-up, mixing it up instead of going for the overhead, going right into the low spike, and Ninja Killer trying to solidify this 3-0, but El Kukui saying, this is a new character. You got to guess in a completely different way, and he's just whiffing! Liquid metal meeting metal sword! And Conan comes out the victor in that situation, forcing the breaker from El Kukui. Does nothing. Challenges afterwards!
Yeah, he got the opening with the overhead and did nothing, and we saw Unjust doing the same thing. I'm curious what they're going for with that. We got the command grab in the corner. Ninja Killer not in a good place right now. Does not have access to break either. He will soon.
So what I believe they're going for, actually, when he goes into that liquid metal state, he can absorb 1 hit. If he EXs it, he can absorb, I believe, 3 hits. So I think why they're doing it is because they're doing it against characters that have a single hitting armor move.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
So he wants to easily bait it out. Doesn't have access to breaker. I mean, this is going to scale. I don't think it's going to kill.
I don't think it's going to kill either. Look at how hard it's scaling.
It's scaling like crazy, but Ninja Killer cashing out because the opportunity to break was not there yet until a few hits came in here. Oh, it just goes, whoa!
Shujinko!
Shujinko with the assist. Don't know where he got that gun, but Ninja Killer moving 3-0 over El Kukui with the perfect call out. He was just outside that spike range, and Shujinko just coming in with the 9mm and just blowing his opponent away.
I mean, that was crazy because it's also one of those things that you think about. We watched the entire set, right? And we saw Shujinko the entire set, and not once, I mean, only 1 round match against T1000 to be able to use it. He didn't use it once. And then it's like last play of the last game, bring that out. It's what you're least expecting. And it's just, you save those to the last minute, man.
Yeah, it's in with a lot of teams, there's not really that Shujinko synergy. Because nobody can contest the neutral as well as Conan when it comes to those huge buttons.
Yeah, yep, exactly. I mean, those disjointed normals are really hard. I feel like when we see those characters like Conan or like Takeda or people who have, or like Ashra, these long disjointed normals able to confirm off of that, it just makes the spacing game so much harder.
what I just saw here on the replay, something I didn't notice the first time. So what Ninja Killa did to avoid that bomb is he did the anti-projectile swing. So the armor, it wasn't armor, it was actually negate projectile from the bomb to avoid the bomb and hit, and also at the same time it's an active hit. So that's how Ninja Killa won that second game against that Cyrax. But that's going to set up losers semifinals. Ninja Killa going up against Bandinos. And we also have our winners finals, Tweety going up against the Mighty Unjust. So when we first started this bracket, when everyone was on the winner's side, I kind of divided it into, half and half.
Yeah.
You got your usual suspects, your veterans, your players who have been to offline events, online events, pro comp, everything, Final Combat, anything you can name. And then the other half of players who are just trying to break out there. We only have one player remaining from, I guess you'd say, the rookie side.
The breakout side?
The rookies. Watch the rookies.
Rookies?
Yeah, the rookies here. I mean, when you compare, you're comparing Bandinos, who's had a lot of success, mostly recently, but you're comparing it against, Ninja Killa, who's runner-up at Final Combat in 2020. Ninja Killa, who was just a phenomenon on his own, like not in this online realm. Ninja Killa, who won Evo during Mortal Kombat 11. Like those are huge accomplishments.
Yeah.
And not to say that Bandinos isn't capable of beating Ninja Killa, but if you're rooting for the rookies, he's the last one standing in this situation. And I don't know if he's going to be able to go all the way. Tweety's been playing since MKX. Ninja Killa also been playing since MKX, but in a different light. Do you want to? We can go down history. We can go down.
We can do a little history. I mean, the thing about Bandinos too is like, the one thing that he is missing that all of these other players have that we've talked about earlier this broadcast is experience. I mean, you're gonna get into, like, imagine you're sitting there and, okay, this is your first competitive Mortal Kombat game, everything you kind of know about Mortal Kombat, and you're about to go against Ninja Killa. How do you get around that in your head? How do you say, okay, this is just another human on the other side of the screen? Because you could argue that it is a robot on the other side of the screen, And so Bandinos, I'd love to see, like, kind of how he's able to compose himself and how he's able to play, and if he's just throwing things out there, gets frustrated easily, or just locks in. Oh, first we got Mighty Unjust and Tweety, sorry.
Yes. Yeah,
we're going for the other one first.
No. We're going Mighty Unjust versus Tweety. No, it's all good, man. Mighty Unjust, you never know what he's going to pick, but you always know he's going to pick a good character. Noob Saibot, Havoc, T-1000, Cyrex, like literally no limitations when it comes to the Mighty Unjust. Where Tweety will pick a good character, but he will also kind of stick with it throughout, like through and through. Like during MK11 was pretty much a Gearus main altogether, but was playing like Baraka early on, but always just wants that focus. That everybody has different approaches. Sometimes people get fatigued playing the same character, they get bored, and they want a little bit more stimulation. Instead, Tweety is just saying, I'm good. I'm trying to grind. I'm trying to learn all these matchups. And I think it's also, oh, that was so good. What a great challenge. Yeah, so normally that sweep is so hard to check because it hits you from so far away. But basically, that didn't punish. What Tweety was doing there was saying, you better not move after you hit me with that sweep. Up block, let's go.
Up block, that was disgusting here out of Tweety. And yeah, like you said, he was on Baraka Kano since this game came out pretty much. He tried Gearus a little bit, wasn't for him. And then Baraka Kano stuck with it until T-1000 came out. So he like definitely just fundamentals, really understands this game in and out, plays for hours and hours and hours, has a lot of the tech and knowledge, and now has a character that really is suiting his game style. Ooh, that arm gonna break through.
Yeah, I gotta lend a hand here.
Yep. Goes for the trade. We're ducking him.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to, oh no. Ooh. A random stray blood bubble just easily converting into with some Movado.
What's gonna block? No punish.
He didn't punish.
No punish?
That was his game. Okay.
Unjust believes?
So I think Tweety might have been playing around. He 100% betted on that. Tweety called that out twice in a row. But I think what happened there, Tweety might have been playing around the idea of breaker. Unjust did have full bar, so I think that's why he felt that it was okay to just let Fatal Blow rock, because if I get blocked, I still have one more opportunity to go in for another guess.
Right.
And so maybe Tweety was just trying to do as much damage as possible without having to let that breaker come into play here.
Yeah, I mean, we did see Tweety earlier also, like, restand to make things, like, so that they're unbreakable, etc. And, oh, we've got the switch. We've got another T1000 mirror coming at us.
I mean, at least Unjust has the, you know, he's got the hat on, he's got the mask on. We know which one is Mighty Unjust.
Yeah,
So I really love that in the mirror.
Yes.
Tweety just hanging out with regular, just no mask, no hat, T1000. Right now, the Mighty Unjust finding lots of success, but you know, in one instance, it could turn into a back throw, it could turn into a low spike. Love the switch under here from Tweety. And here comes the breaker. No more resources for the Mighty Unjust. Doesn't get the punish in time.
And the duck under the grab. He's going to be able to get the punish. Quick breaker here out of Tweety. He's going to be able to go ahead and apply so much pressure in this corner. Only 950 health for Mighty Unjust, and that's just going to melt right away.
Round 2.
Melting.
Melting, yeah, you know?
Did you do that on purpose?
I did do that on purpose. Yeah, thank you. I was trying my best. Had to act nonchalant about it, you know?
Yeah, you know, it's okay. I'm sorry I called it out, but you know, I think that makes it better.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
The low spike doesn't get there in time in order to punish, and that's going to be an easy block, an easy punish for the Mighty Unjust as he sends Tweety for a full ride here, catching him doing anything but block, possibly trying to jump out of the corner. Mighty Unjust kind of waited, recognized there was no delay wake-up timing, and just said, let me check you with this high. Armored to keep him down in the corner. Tweety finding the conversion. Hit confirming into a nice launcher, and then we're going to get the Movado extension here. Yes, we are. Another bounce from the air. Oh, boy.
We got the Movado trap out. He's able to block it. Gets hit by the overhead there.
Yeah, that was Tweety recognizing that the Movado was not his Movado, because he's like, I didn't call that. Here comes the mine. I got to stop doing what I think I'm going to do to punish. Movado going to be expending this here. Absolutely. Left, I was going to say left in a standing position, but he's opting to go for damage instead. And, you know, it's so hard to deal with that. With the Movado low coming your way at the exact same time, or almost the exact same time, as a big jump and kick. The jumping kick can turn into an empty jump. The jumping kick can, you know, be delayed slightly. So it's really hard to deal with both of those at the same time there.
Yeah, and the Movado low itself, it's like, I feel like a lot of players just miss it and get hit by it too. It's just like one of those things where it's like you're not expecting it, kind of comes out of nowhere, but there's just so many layers there with the Movado coming out of, okay, like you said, I could empty jump throw, I could jump in, get a full combo, etc. And it just adds this whole entire like pressure situation where you're thinking about so many things.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to is the overwhelming options. And even just the threat of Movado, and then if they don't do it, you're like, oh, cool, I just let them jump in and get pressure for free. Surprised that didn't break the armor. It looks like that first hit whiffed a little bit from Tweety. Maybe he just wasn't spaced correctly there.
We get the duck out of Tweety though under the grab, able to get full corner carry, pops it up with the low spikes in the face. D2, get out of the air.
Yeah, so that was Mighty Unjust going for an empty jump most likely, and Tweety just not wanting to deal with it at all. I don't want to guess, like, I'm going to hit you, because T1000's jump and kick is really good. It's not as good as Johnny Cage's jump and kick, but it's still one of those things where you almost feel like flawless blocking might be the only way to deal with it. And then, double.
Oh my goodness. The
double overhead. Double overhead that leads into a combo either way. And that was a really good block there from the Mighty Unjust, blocking the overhead jump and also blocking the Movado low kick.
Alright, gonna get damage going here, but Mighty Unjust has a lot to make back. Tweety just needs to take this round to take the set here. Remember, this is winners finals right now. Both of these players, whoever wins this will move on to grand finals, send the other player down to losers, and it looks like it's going to be Tweety winning it 3-0 over Mighty Unjust in this mirror. And he's going to be sitting right there in grand finals. Tweety looking pretty comfortable.
Tweety has not dropped the. I believe Tweety has not dropped a game.
He took Rebel took one off of Tweety.
Oh, that's right. It was off stream. So
Yeah,
Rebel,
off-stream.
off stream. Rebel was the only player to take a game off of Tweety. Tweety 3-0 over Ninja, 3-0 over over Mighty Unjust in winners finals.
And these are not small names to be 3-0ing. These are not just like players to be 3-0ing. It's absolutely insane.
I mean, I read a tweet earlier today, and I did mention it to you. Tweety saying that he doesn't feel good. I'll read it verbatim.
Yeah.
Was feeling sick during stream last night, and I'm even more sick today. Really sucks. Not sure if I'll be able to stream my pro run comp, or if I do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk much during it. But again, when I was reading it, I was like, is he serious, or is he trying to like ice his opponent?
Games.
Could be mind games. Like I don't have to worry about Tweety. He's feeling like crap. Let me focus on Ninja Killer. Let me focus on the Mighty Unjust. Let me focus on Bandinos. But either way, Tweety in a very comfortable position, grand finals. But it's just so scary because
yes,
you could lose it all.
I'm
not saying Tweety has an advantage that he is the only player left in this tournament with both tournament lives intact. In order to lose from a double elimination tournament, you have to lose twice. Once in the winner side bracket and once in the loser side bracket. And everybody down below Tweety has lost one time, at least one time. And Bandinos and Ninja Killer going to be coming up next on the loser semifinals. And this is for their tournament life. This is do or die for them.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Bandinos is gonna I feel like when it comes down to it, when Bandinos is playing the top of the top, the best of the best, he will use Rain.
Yes.
And I feel like it almost feels like, when an actor does like method acting and they go into that scenario. I feel like that's kind of Bandino's approach to learning these top tier characters, because Bandinos does have really good, secondary characters that he will pull out once in a while. And I know for a fact that Bandinos used T1000 to get through other players on their pro comp climb.
I believe he also used Omni-Man at some point.
I mean, that's definitely not a top tier character.
No,
but
it was like after he had qualified.
Yeah. Oh.
And he brought out some Omni-Man too. I know he's got that in his pocket somewhere.
I mean, it could be like a ritual thing where like, okay, character comes out, I need to know how they play, so I need to play as them.
Yes.
Because after somebody qualified and it didn't really matter afterwards, I don't know if they're really playing with, their full heart intended.
Right.
But I don't see Bandinos going anywhere else besides Rain. And the other thing, too, is how else are you going to get Rain experience? Like, nobody else is doing what Bandinos is doing with Rain. Like, literally no one can hold a candle to Bandinos when it comes to this character.
No, that's very true, and that's like what we see kind of with these like more out there specialized characters. We were saying it even just with Conan itself. Who other than Ninja Killer really is playing Conan? And if they are they playing at the same like level that Ninja Killer is?
I mean, I've seen a lot of great El Kukui using Conan, but obviously it was, but it kind of branches off Ninja Killer because it was specifically from Ninja Killer who put Conan. I feel like Ninja Killer put Conan on the map.
Yeah.
And I think it just. So many people were like crying about how bad Conan was. Conan's got no sauce. Conan's got nothing good. But then Ninja Killer just finds this route to just destroy anyone he's going up against. And Shujinko giving him that, I want to call it like X factor in terms of like these weird little mix-ups when it comes to, the gut punches or even just utilizing the tools that he gets from his opponent.
That's another matchup thing. How many people use Shujinko, right?
Yeah.
Like how many people know how to block those Shujinko pokes or anything like that?
If Bandinos just committed to the back three instead of going back three Janet, this could have at least forced a breaker. Now this is so scary. Is anyone willing to throw? I was literally going to say, is anybody willing to throw, because you're betting it all if you throw.
Oh, throw Shujinko too! Get across the screen! 1 second, not gonna be enough. Ninja Killer timing out Bandino's there.
So that came down to Bandino's not flawless blocking the cameo throw
Yep.
versus Ninja Killer blocking that overhead bubble.
Yes, exactly. It's just those
Raindrop?
little
What is that?
moments.
Hailstorm? What do you call that move?
Water out of the sky.
There you go. Descriptive. I don't know why that didn't hit.
Oh,
I don't
that
think
reaches so far.
I get was it too far? Was that what it was?
Yeah, I don't think it goes full screen.
I mean, it's weird because like it is full screen, but it's not full screen.
Yeah, exactly. Like I felt like it like petered out right before it could have gotten there.
It lost the pressure,
Oh
the
my
water
God.
pressure.
45, just like that.
So we saw that drop before against Tweety, and Tweety able to punish. And I just want to pull out a detail there. Bandino's swinging with down one, showing that he's unsure that he was able to punish, where as a player like Tweety fully punished that drop.
Right.
And, you know, I feel like that's kind of, that to me is showing me a tendency of, you know, I'm not really sure, I'm not really confident, versus Tweety, who was like, I'm hands on the wheel, super locked in, super focused.
Yeah.
And I want to see Bandino's wake up a little bit, honestly. I want to see him, you know, light the fire under his ass. Like,
I agree. I want to see him go like a little bit more on the offensive and everything, kind of open up the next layers of the like car cancel and everything that he's trying to do, get some setups going. It just seems like it's so scary. It's so scary to go get in Conan's face because he hits you once and it's just, why was I here? Why did I decide to do that type thing?
I mean, you know, it's very different when Conan / Shujinko is going up against, you know, specific characters, like what they get. That team is super good. Like, it's so weird because it changes the playstyle so much. So, like, if you're going up against a character that gives Shujinko a command grab, suddenly you're a mix-up character.
Right.
If you're going up against a character that gives you, like, a weird restand combo extension like Takeda's low kunais, suddenly you're this beat, like this powerhouse that just finds one opening and does a ton of damage. So Ninja Killer playing this team has to be so willing to adapt different playstyles, adapt different strategies.
Yeah, that's like some of the best creativity though I see coming out of Shujinko. Like, I feel like the first person I really saw using Shujinko, Mike Metroid on Johnny Shujinko, and we've just seen like kind of some of the crazy combos you can come up with, some of the things that you can come out there with. Shujinko being a really, really, really strong tool that I from the beginning of the game, I was like, the long game, I really want somebody to get good with Shujinko. It's going to take a long, long time, but I'm excited that we're seeing it here right on the main stage. We got Ninja Killer, we got Bandino's, we're hopping back into it.
Yeah, let's see. I didn't see what cameo Bandino's opted to pick. Sticking with Janet, again, you're going to want to extend these throw combos.
Right.
And, you know, also have, like, access to so much meterless damage. And on top of that, your armor is going to also be, you know, you're not going to be able to extend too much damage, but, you know, it's better than nothing. When you're playing any other cameo, you usually just get the get off me armor, but with Janet, you have enough time to confirm into the double Janet punches here.
Yeah, that's true. Great combo extension from Janet. We see that in a lot. Oh my god, getting cracked on the head. Can't whiff that far from Conan. Forcing breaker. Bandino's gonna keep it, so they're pretty much even health right now.
That decision to go for that armor there is it's such a strange one because you kind of trade in terms of damage, but I guess it's more about positioning. It's more about locking your opponent down in this corner. Good blocks here from Bandino's. I believe there is a gap between most things into the Shujinko punches, but you have to pay attention. Like,
yes.
Is Shujinko fully charged to steal my move, or is he just doing that to, you know, try to extend his own combos?
Right, of course. I love the Shujinko throw. I think that's so funny, and I never really get to see it. Conan just does it all the time. Alright, we're in chip damage territory. Good tech. Oh, chip damage, just like that. And we were talking about, so Bandino's, right? He has the Janet Cage to extend throw combos. That means that you need to be able to throw Ninja Killer.
Yeah, I want to say Ninja Killer is one of the best at teching throws, and like, you know, to me, I just feel like he plays like someone who sees everything, reacts to everything, and things like slow down for him. So it's very hard to throw a player that relies on the reactions, a player who throw text. But hey, we got some OSing coming right back your way.
Okay. Bandino's life lead here, gonna get a lot of carry across the screen. Drops it at the end.
That's okay. American reset.
Yeah, American reset. Forward throw. Reset neutral. Oh my god, what a whiff. Nothing out of it.
That's such a strange situation because like normally you wanna punish whiff throws that you call out, that you duck under. It's not gonna hit. That you duck under, but when a throw whiffs the other way, like horizontally, you have to press a different button to reach there. Your stand 1 isn't gonna reach. And I feel like almost nobody is ever ready for that kind of whiff.
Oh my god, the scramble. Oh, he goes for the D2 to finish it out. Ninja Killer. We're up 2-0 right here.
You can't throw him. You can't jump in on him.
No.
You got to just get him on his back and mix him. Like, we've seen that. That has worked so far against Ninja Killer. We saw the 3-0 with Tweety over Ninja Killer. And it was more of like Tweety finding the hit. Tweety not forcing the hit. Like, he wasn't doing any crazy jump-ins. He wasn't trying to abuse throws, but he was just putting him in a situation where you have to straight up guess.
Yes.
And then once you guess right, you just keep him going in that vortex, keep him going in that blender, where Bandino's doesn't really have access to that. Like, his rain gameplay, his strategy mainly comes like in the neutral, like when he's trying to outspace his opponent. And I think not only is Ninja Killer like fully equipped mentally as a player to deal with that, but with this character, with these long-range buttons, like that is insane. That's bananas what he can do.
It is very scary to put a player like Ninja Killer, who has the nooch that Ninja Killer has, on a character like Conan, who's able to reach so far. Oh, gets the launcher. Shujinko there is going to be powering up, continues the extension on the combo. Big damage, big damage. We're still going.
Yeah, so
reset into a throw?
Yeah, easy reset, the restand situation into a nice little throw, trying to chip away. And again, Ninja Killer opting to go with the back throw, not because he wants to give up the position, but because he wanted to mix up Bandino's, because you have to specifically throw tech throws, whether they're forward throws or back throws, with, you know, your face buttons.
Oh my gosh, it's not looking good for Bandino's here. He keeps getting big whiff punishes. Oh, tries to go for a throw just like we were talking about, and boop, get teched. Absolutely gets cracked on the skull again. The spacing out of Ninja Killer just not even giving Bandino's a moment to try to space, try to neutral.
Okay, big buttons on that neutral jump. The sword coming at your way. Down. Okay, so he tried to do down one special, but I think it was just not the right special to do. Maybe he wanted to do an uppercut instead. Whiffs the throw again. Nobody's ready to punish that when it whiffs horizontally. I'm telling you, your brain is so ingrained to muscle memory that you want to go into stand buttons, but if you're out of range, you're like, I shouldn't do stand buttons here. Extending the combo, gonna go for a very advantageous position here. The puddle on the ground, Ninja Killer being very patient, blocking, but Bandino's finding that mid, canceling into the dash, and he is ready to play, ready to show signs of life here, but Ninja Killer can easily turn this around. The low. Okay. Watch out here.
All right.
Watch out.
All right, Bandino's, let's go. We see you. Locking in. He's looking a little bit more confident with his movement, too. He was playing very kind of patient, a little bit scared at the beginning, it seemed like, but it seems like he's kind of getting his flow here. Oh, good down poke on the Janet right there. Make sure she's out of action for a little bit.
That puddle doing a really good job at stopping the jump in approach from Ninja Killer. Oh, tucking underwards. Underwards, under throw attempts, under arms. No, toward escape. That was the no mix-up throw. Had it gone the other way, he would have got some damage, but Ninja Killer would have got way more breathing room. Yeah. Goes for the break. That was pretty deep into the combo. I feel like he might have wanted to save it. I didn't know that was a combo extension that he got access to. I mean, you're learning so much when you see this character, Shujinko. It's just so fun to see in the hands of such a great player like Ninja Killer. And Ninja Killer taking it over Bandino's 3-0. after Shujinko just kind of comes out, pops him up in the air, and it's just combo extension after combo extension, and you really have to be ready to play however that Shujinko makes you play, and that's Ninja Killer taking it 3-0. I think he's going to be going into this top 3 situation with way more confidence. He's going to be going up against the Mighty Unjust, who he hasn't played yet today, but I think historically in the second year of MK1, I think it's usually Mighty Unjust over Ninja Killer, but Ninja Killer, one of those players that's just, again, a lot like Tweety, where it's so good, but just as of recently hasn't been playing the game as much. But I feel like sometimes that reset helps you see things differently in a better light. And, you know, that 3-0 over Bandino shows me that Ninja Killer is ready to play. Ninja Killer's feeling great. And, you know, he's really clicking with this character and really shining. You know, I feel like Conan lets Ninja Killer do the things that he wants to do. Ninja Killer, a very reactionary-based player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing the Conan out of Ninja Killer. I like the just the way that Shujinko works with Conan as well, and the way that Ninja Killer is finding, like you said, like all this tech that we're seeing that it's like, oh wait, you can do that too, type thing. And that just brings, I mean, like, the question becomes in those situations, like, all right, do Mighty Unjust and Tweety know that that's coming? Or do they know those gaps? Do they know into armor? So we're going to see it. We're heading right into loser finals, guys. Down to our top 3. We've got Tweety, Mighty Unjust, and Ninja Killer. Right now we've got Ninja Killer and Mighty Unjust fighting it out in losers finals. Mighty on the T1000, Ninja Killer on the Conan. Just get the name switch real quick. Oh, there we go. Awesome.
There we go. Yeah, we got the right names. It's okay. Extending here is the Mighty Unjust. Huge opportunity for him. And this is kind of where, you know, whether you have good reactions or not, I feel like most of the time it comes down to in the neutral. Like, you jump in on Ninja Killer, he's going to anti-air you.
Yep.
You walk up and throw him, he's going to react and see that. But what he's not reacting to, and what he just has to straight up guess against, is this 3-way mix-up with T1000. Overhead, low, or command grab. And he even has an extra layer to go into the liquid metal state and try to, you know, bait out that armor. And I think we might be able to see it, shades of that, as this set goes on. Ninja Killer has to get through 2 T1000s.
Yeah, T1000s. And he really, it seemed like he was struggling so much against Tweety with the T1000 versus Conan pick. So I'm just wondering if he's going to stick on the Conan. Let's say Mighty takes his first one. If he were to, like, the Conan, I'm not sure if it's the right choice, but Ninja Killer, he's the pro. That's why he's on there. I'm just here to see what he's doing and what he's thinking.
Yeah, I don't see Ninja Killer switching in any situation. I feel like he's been hard committed to this character. You know, we saw T1000 a little earlier, but I don't think it was the match he was looking for.
Yes, of course. Yep. Oh, and here comes that damage. Yeah, Ninja Killer getting locked down in the corner, taking a round here off of Mighty Unjust.
So once that Shujinko gets loaded, like, suddenly Conan becomes, you know, a character that has some sort of mix, a character that can, you know, go in for a grab almost at any point. So Shujinko's locked and loaded. What's gonna be the guess here? Is he coming out? No. And I think Mighty might have been looking for that. Down 1 into special. Ninja Killer thought, hey, I blocked this down 1. That means it's my turn to swing. Absolutely not. Low spike. I mean, hey, frame data wise, yes, it should. It should be your turn to swing afterwards. You know, you want to get your punish. You know, and it's super unsafe. It's a very unsafe option, but it really comes down to, what do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're capable of? Ducking under, but he somehow didn't get there in time. Mighty Unjust dropping the huge situation, but that's okay. He's got the pickup, launching him, pushing him closer and closer to that corner, challenging afterwards. I think that was a backdash from Ninja Killer. I didn't see the counter hit go.
Gets caught again! Low poke gets caught in the corner, Ninja Killer. Can you get out? Up block! Oh, what an up block out of Mighty.
I mean, very basic. Hold block, hold up.
But it's like, there was, I could have seen an empty jump come in.
I mean, sure, no, that's definitely the mix-up, but I think a lot of times in that scramble situation, when you have, like, very low health, it's a little bit more unlikely that someone's going to go for something as risky as empty jump, because that's a risk in itself, because it's an easy anti-air. But I feel like I feel like it's the same mentality when you're fighting like a Johnny Cage. When a Johnny Cage jumps at you,
Right.
it's very hard to deal with jump in 3 or jump in kick. And with Conan, it's the same thing with his jump in sword. It extends really far away. Ninja Killa going out with, I mean, this has to be Ninja Killa's favorite character in the entire Mortal Kombat franchise. This is the character that put Ninja Killa on the map as the legend that he was. This is the character that brought so much attention to Ninja Killa in terms of like how good of a player he is.
Yeah, and he's going Shaolin Monks for this one. Just going Liu Kung Lao. Liu, pretty decent in this game. He's just like, he's not considered crazy top tier, but I mean, in the hands of the right player, like Ninja Killa, who was playing Liu at the beginning of this game and is very familiar with him. I mean, just, oh, the duck too, doesn't get a full punish, didn't quite commit to it. Mighty Unjust carrying to the corner here. This is exactly where he wants Ninja Killa. We start getting that setup of guess. Forces the breaker, great punish here out of Ninja Killa, but drops the combo. We never see drops out of him.
I mean, again, I think this is more of a testament to how much Ninja Killa has been committed to Conan, that I feel like I don't think he might have not even prepared to bring out Liu Kang. Good reactions to that overhead here, and that's what I'm telling you. Like, yes, when you have him in the corner, when you have him down, and you're making him guess 3 ways, you can really take advantage. But if you're just doing something with a huge startup and a huge tell like that overhead from T1000, Ninja Killa is going to react to that.
Big launcher. Damage again. Mighty Unjust getting started in this round, has the upper hand. Continuing it out with the Movado, cashing out for a lot of damage here.
Jump in.
Jump
Just,
in.
I mean, yeah, you're just, again, this is a character where you really don't want to deal with this jump in. So you got to either commit to those up blocks at a huge risk, or just kind of try to hold that and guess your way out of it.
Ooh, just got a hot fireball EX right away. Kung Lao hat, not able to get anything out of it. Just a couple plus frames. But Mighty Unjust coming in swinging with that forward 3-4, 3-4. Gets the long round spike too, confirming to Movado. I mean, the pokes are just crazy. I feel like T1000 is able to outspace Liu pretty well in neutral.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is, oh, doesn't get that throw. Ninja Killa showing that he is going to take this mile from this 1 inch that Mighty Unjust is giving him. 127 health left remaining on his life bar. Oh, challenges, but doesn't go for the whole thing. I mean, you're not going to confirm for that 1 hit. I think he was just going for a stagger. Gets the punish on the low spike, launches up, and going to do blue flame into more damage. That all came from like just the brink of defeat. Had Mighty Unjust connected with that command grab, that would have been it. That would have been over for Ninja Killa, but he ducked under it, guessed right, and said, okay, this is my opportunity. This is where I can shine.
Yeah, that was absolutely great out of him. So what do you think? What do you think? What character are we seeing?
From Mighty? That's the thing, right? He was
Is he gonna stay?
hyper prepared for Conan, but
Yeah.
we always run into this similar mindset of, you know, whether you drop the combo and the win was yours, or maybe you just guessed wrong. For one time, had Mighty done like a low spike or just a big mid, he would have won because Ninja Killa preemptively ducked under that command grab. So, you know, looking back at it, you were just one guess away from winning.
Danny. Jump back. He's gonna be able to duck under those long-range fireballs. Ooh, decides to tick throw out of the forward 3-4 into our command grab. And then the same, you're gonna see the same style of gameplay here coming out of Mighty Unjust. It's perfect for T1000. Set you up, put you in some mix. What are you gonna guess? Alright, not quite enough to kill. Low Movado coming in. Great blocks out of Ninja Killer. Oh my god.
Just shot
Just
him up.
point blank to the forehead.
I mean, that's really the thing, right? Is what could Ninja Killer commit to? He could commit to the low projectile to get under that. But even if you want to summon out that Kung Lao low hat or the Dragon's Tail, you got to be fully standing in order for that to be a threat. So gunshot, even though it's super high, great anti-air here from Ninja Killer. Shades of that Conan armor. Instead, you see it. Special moves do such a great job of being so active, even when you're challenging really good jump-ins like T1000's jumping kick.
We got a throw. Now we set it back to some neutral. Oh, does he juggle off the hat? I feel like I've seen some players able to juggle off that hat if they release it at the right time.
Yeah, it's
so
very
hard.
I mean, yeah, it's tough because it depends where the hat gets thrown down. It depends how much you advance. Like it's never the same situation over and over and over again. Oh, low spike. I wonder if he could have let it go just a little sooner. I feel like I saw a slight delay there with that hat. Mighty Unjust cashing in big time, not giving Ninja Killer the opportunity to go for that breaker, but Ninja Killer with meter is very, very scary.
Yes, very much so. He's in a situation, but not quite chipped out.
Did he flawless block that Movado low? Did he flawless block a move that people have a hard time just blocking altogether?
Chip situation. Oh my god, his toes got clipped. He blocked the Movado low.
He flawless blocked the Movado low.
He flawless blocked it and won the match because of it.
I mean, he did have last breath situation, so he had 3 bars, but it's never that simple when it comes to Ninja Killer. Like I said, he will pull out the super clutch flawless blocks. The last breath situation, he could have blocked 3 more times and still not have died. And I feel like Mighty kind of changed his strategy into he's going to die from one. You know what I mean? Like he's going to die if I just put one thing on him.
Right.
But this is Ninja Killer. This is someone who's going to flawless block when they have to. This is somebody who's going to react.
Good snipe there on the Movado coming out. Trades. Neither of them getting much from it. Swinging. Gets a punish, but doesn't fully get a combo after. Yeah, we're just gonna see them playing in neutral here, and Mighty Unjust able to get that opening there with the low spike. Movado comes in for the assist, extends it, and we're back in the corner with this pressure. The forward 3-4 into an instant command grab. Love the tech throws.
I mean, it's just so good in a game where not everyone has access to things like that, but it's just so good. It's so good to have that extra layer of mix up. Am I gonna continue with my big buttons and go for a big combo? Nice confirm here from Mighty Unjust. Launching him up, turning into that liquid puddle and just continuing. I love how the drips go right into his shoe. It's just like so canon.
Yes.
The liquid metal drips. 40% here. Ninja Killer in a world of hurt. Ninja Killer going for a ride. Vortex machine that is T1000. And Mighty Unjust, the savant that he is, the jack of all trades, really shining here with this character. I believe that comboed there, including with the Movado low. He never, I mean...
He flawless.
No, I mean, at the end there, did he just not opt to go for any kind of breaker? He had full bar.
Did his Kung get hit? I don't think Kung Lao got hit.
It was a very strange situation there at the end, but it could have been like, I want to reset.
Yeah, maybe.
I want a new situation, and you really gotta admire Mighty Unjust's commitment to this character. Commitment to the pick. We saw it get really shaky 2 games in a row against the Liu Kang. And Mighty's just sticking out with it, saying, I'm using this character. I think this character is, probably the best to fight against Ninja Killer, and I'm going to use the resources that are available to me.
Yeah, and I mean, it's working out well for him. He looks comfortable. It looked like it took him a little bit getting used to the matchup, the Liu matchup, but he definitely settled into it last match. Ooh, good trade there on Ninja Killa's part.
Both sides whiffing. The spike not high enough to get Liu Kang, and Liu Kang a little too high to hit T1000 at all with those projectiles.
Yeah, we're just trading. Ooh, look at this neutral, waiting for the opening.
He dropped it, 100% a drop. That should have been a conversion easily from Ninja Killa, but I'm not sure if he just like, if the input ate up a button maybe on his way out of the teleport. I love that throw tech animation. Where
It's great.
It's just like, you think I'm a normal person? No, you literally can't grab me.
Yeah, like spikes, get off. Jump in coming here from Mighty Unjust. Extension here with Movado in the corner. Big launcher.
Right in front of his face, the delay wake up goes for the overhead, but instead Ninja Killa ready to block. And not only that, not only was it because he blocked the overhead correctly, but also because Mighty Unjust opted to use meter. He committed to using meter, thus giving him no access to Breaker until this fatal blow animation, and that was Ninja Killa being aware of everything, being aware that Mighty Unjust is in kill territory, being aware that Mighty Unjust just decided to give up his Breaker, and Ninja Killa 1 round away from advancing into the grand finals. The command grab from the Mighty Unjust. He's got to do this. He's got him in the corner. Ninja Killa's been living in the corner. It really comes down to, can I guess my way out?
Guess right, guess right, guess right. Oh, Mighty Unjust giving him a little space there. Not sure about this. He's back in.
I think he was baiting out something, baiting out possibly a Motaro teleport. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, well, great anti-air there from Ninja Killa, able to get him out of the air. Quick 25%. They're pretty much even on life right now. Oh, just dash up, grab. We're just dashing up and grabbing.
Flawless block to negate all chip damage.
Try it again.
Throw escape. Oh, you're whiffing. You're whiffing. You're whiffing for days. Is Ninja Killa going to take this here? One more guess. Mighty Unjust not going to build enough meter to get that flawless, to get the breaker, and Ninja Killa taking it over the Mighty Unjust in a grueling 5-game set. Switching over to that true main, that character that put Ninja Killa on the map in the first place so many years ago during the MKX days, and that was the key. That was the solution to getting around that T1000.
It really was.
And this is going to be a slightly scarier situation going into grand finals for Tweedy. You know, knowing that Ninja Killa has access to this revived character that at least me myself, I did not think Ninja was going to tap into a different character at all.
Me either.
But right after game 1, right into Liu Kang, we saw a few drops in the beginning, but afterwards it was just kind of like riding a bike and, you know, able to do what was best for Ninja Killa, able to anti-air all those jump-in approaches, able to get a little bit more zoning on the screen, and of course what's probably one of the best things about Liu Kang, that strike throw game, and that all revolves around, you know, going up and implementing that fear of throw, which is what we saw Ninja Killa doing a lot of in that last round.
Yeah, and I mean, right here we have our bracket. It is slowly coming to an end here, guys. Crazy stacked bracket, been a great time. We have our last match is going to be grand finals. Now, the way that this works is Ninja Killa was already sent to loser side by Tweedy, so he's on loser side, Tweedy is on winner side. You have to lose twice in order to be knocked out of the tournament. So for Tweedy, he needs to beat Ninja Killa in 1 best of 5 in order to win the tournament. Ninja Killa would have to win the first best of 5, reset the entire bracket, send Tweedy down to losers, and then beat him again in order to claim the championship.
And that's pretty staple here in the FGC double elimination tournament. Again, hensing on the we're reiterating the word double. You know, you got to lose twice. Everyone's got 2 lives, and Tweedy's got them both fully intact. Now, I think if Tweedy was looking at that last set, he probably wanted Mighty to win, just to kind of. I mean, no, actually, no, looking back, Tweedy 3-0'd both these players, but Ninja Killa going with the choice that I thought he was going to go with, Liu Kang. I got through one T1000. Can I get through the next one? But we already saw, as we did in winners finals, Tweedy easily 3-0ing Mighty Unjust in that situation.
Yeah, and I mean, Ninja, we saw he had the couple first drops when he first switched to Lou, but now he's warmed up on Lou. He's beat the Mighty Unjust on Lou. He is fully locked in as Lou. And oh my.
Can we talk about how smart that was for Tweety to not let Motaro start the turret? Instead said, I'm going to poke back, not with a down 1, but a down 3 to make sure I reach both Liu Kang and Motaro so I don't have to deal with this turret nonsense.
I mean,
Oh! You thought the command grab was going to work. You thought I was going to block, but instead ducking under and just says, literally just says, fuck it, I'm going to down 2.
Oh my god, when all else fails, I guess just down 2 your way out of it, man. That was a way to get out of the corner for Tweety. Taking that first round right here. Oh my goodness, Ninja Killer looked like he was trying to go for the whiff punish, but ends up getting caught by the end of that string that Tweety has out. Big opening again, not looking good for Ninja Killer. He's pretty low on life here. It's not going to be enough to kill in the corner. But he's on 950 health, so one more touch.
Oh,
And no breaker.
Double overhead. Now that could have easily been disastrous for Tweety. I mean, Ninja Killer able, like if he's got that tiny little sliver of health, he is not going to just block things and die. Like, Ninja Killer is going to try very best to flawless block things, negate as much chip as possible, and it's never comfortable when you're fighting against Ninja Killer and he's got that tiny little bit of health. But the right call with that down 2, pretty risky move. Yeah. But being that it paid off, being that it was the right move, I think that gave Tweety the immense amount of confidence to go into that next round and just roll over Ninja Killer as soon as he put him in the corner.
Yep. 100% agree, and that was pretty commanding for Tweety for our first match. We're gonna need Ninja Killer to make a good amount of adjustments here, figure out this whole T1000 mix. It's just so hard once the ball gets rolling. It's a pretty snowball character, because look at that corner carry. You got hit once at the start of the match, and now you're right back exactly where you don't want to be.
Mix.
Go ahead and get
Mix.
Did you block it right? No, you didn't. So here you go. It's going to be a quick 35 for your troubles.
Good block there by Ninja Killer, the low and the overhead from T1000, but you can only block so long until T1000 says, I'll give you a command grab. Good block of the overhead, seeing that hammer coming from nowhere, and that's a great option to do against Motaro. Now that Motaro shot is super plus on block, but it has a lot of startup, so most characters can just armor their way right past it.
Now, Tweety throwing out that hammer. I was in his stream the other day, and he was talking about, oh, when do you use the hammer? And he was like, I only use the hammer when I know the other opponent forgot that it's even an option.
So that means we're not going to see it the rest of the set.
Yeah, like
one time.
He was like, I'll just be doing everything else. They're looking for this, they're looking for that, and then maybe sometimes randomly I'll just throw out a hammer.
It's a special move. It's an overhead. Why not?
Forcing the breaker, Ninja Killer, no bar to his name. Tweety with one stick of butter here.
Tweety, I love these stand button challenges. I feel like it's a very hard thing to conceptualize when you're learning this game. I'm surprised we didn't see the brutality there, but Tweety's just trying to get this done as fast. But I feel like standing buttons as a challenge is a very hard thing to conceptualize in this game.
Yes.
Because I feel like everyone is just looking for a down 1, down 3, down 4, like a poke that'll give you like super frame advantage, and then you go for strike throw after that. But what Tweety's doing there is he's preemptively throwing in those highs to kind of like maintain this space that he thinks Ninja Killer is going to approach. And it was perfectly called out there. Ninja Killer wanted to approach because he's not going to sit back and, you know, hold the zoning. He's not going to sit back and just let T1000 do whatever he wants. He has to close the gap. Where I think Liu Kang is really good in this matchup is up close, but I don't necessarily think that T1000 is bad up close. So it's just more of like a comfort thing. Down 3, saw the poke, respecting everything, and I guess he just thought that the string was over, the special move, the string was over, but instead, here comes the low spike. It's not your turn. You got to guess, and you got to hold that. Immediately going for the back throw instead of going for a down 1 poke punish. Again, we're evolving. We're going to the next set. Oh, neutral jump right over the throw. I mean, Dude, this is all Tweety, like all day. This is insane.
He is just like, he seems like an unstoppable force right now. Absolutely just making the right reads, swinging for the fences, but still somehow gets that stray hit on Ninja Killa there. Possibly he was looking for the whiff punish, but Tweety just right now just controlling the entire game. On the low end of the overhead.
Yeah,
Tweety is 1 round away.
We saw Ninja Killa blocking that before, but right now I think he's just so flustered, so out of whack that he's just like, this is scary. And imagine being able to put this pressure on Ninja Killa. Good armor, gets out of there. Oh, they're actually gonna punish this. Back to that breaker coming off of Tweety, but that's okay. He doesn't really need meter, you know, to apply the vortex, to apply the guessing game in the corner.
Right. And
Especially not if Ninja Killa puts himself in the corner here. Mavado for the extension afterwards. Yes, the bounce into the air. Tweety looking so good right now. Can he keep this going? Can he keep this going to win this 3-0? Ninja Killa, you gotta wake up!
He armors out! Ninja Killa waking up. Okay, he's being patient, working his way in. All gets opened up. Is this gonna be it?
I'm not really sure what he was looking for there. Like, he blocked the first hit and just decided, let me just get hit by this high afterwards. Whoa, that could have been dangerous.
Oh, the up block!
Nice. Nice. Very, very nice. And not going to leave it to any... You know, he might have been able to get close to death if he just opted to not use the Fatal Blow. But in this high-pressure situation, I definitely agree. Spend the Fatal Blow. Make sure it kills. And Ninja Killa showing signs of life, getting this round. But look at the bar deficit. Look at the meter deficit. Tweety, almost full bar. Ninja Killa still... And I think that's why he's opting to go for a more zoning approach here. He wants to build a little bit of bar. He wants to kind of, you know, even out the playing field here. But that's what that Mavado's going to do. Oh, ducks under. Yes, that's how you got to deal with that string. It's a high string. If you let him do that, that is on you. Ninja Killa with the mids. Ninja Killa fighting back. Can he get this first game? That's a punish. He overcommitted to punishing the Mavado, and I made a comment about that before. You don't want to overcommit with punishing those cameos because down 2 has a ton of recovery, and Tweety is showing him why you don't do that. No.
Oh, he's cashing out. Now, this isn't going to be death, guys, but this is a situation indeed. Neither of them have access to Fatal Blow. Ninja Killa is close to having access to Breaker, and Tweety, no bar.
Don't forget, last breath situation is going to come into play here. So you can't just chip him out, Tweety. Oh, he just bet it all. He bet it all, or he just forgot about last breath situation. I mean, this is... It's a lot of chip damage, and it definitely depleted the life bar, but I don't know if it was enough. And he still had 2 more bars, so even if it was enough, he would still have to make him block 2 more things without flawless block in play. And I think it was just, he bet it all.
Yeah.
He bet it all, and I don't want Tweety to get fatigued. I don't want Tweety to lose that momentum, but honestly, this is scary. This is terrifying.
Yeah, because, I mean, the more and more we play, the more and more comfortable Ninja's looking. The more and more, the closer and closer the rounds are getting, the more, easier time he's having keeping his spacing, playing his game, controlling the pacing of the match, and that gets scary. When you see Ninja starting to get a download, that gets scary. Very unsafe choice there by Tweety.
I know, but there was 2 guesses there. There was the, are you gonna liquid metal drop? And then afterwards, like, are you gonna run away or are you gonna do the spikes? And Ninja Killa guessed right on both of those, depleting the life bar like crazy. Yeah, the Motaro is super plus. Don't swing after that, ever.
Oh my god, and again with that same string, interrupting it like you were saying.
You got to duck it. Yeah, it's a high, so if it's up close, you duck under the high and just punish with your own high afterwards. So it's one of those strings that I think is really good when your opponent opts to delay wake up, because once those liquid metal arms are on you, you have to guess.
Yes.
But you have to stop it before it comes to that. And I think that's why you were seeing a lot less delay wake up from Ninja Killa, because he doesn't want to play possum and let Tweety set up that string. No, he wasn't close enough to get the punish.
Yep. Tweety's gonna get something started here.
Yeah.
Danny, restain.
the corner carry on that combo is bananas.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, you can be anywhere on the screen, and
He's in the
suddenly you're
corner now. No, he's definitely in the corner now.
You're 100% in the corner, and what's the... Oh, doesn't block the Movado low? What's the play?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, armor!
If he just blocked that down one, that was so scary. And I feel like Ninja Killer is one of the last players to hit down one in that scenario. Hit down one point blank, he is more willing to just block and wait it out. But this is a whole different type of animal we're dealing with. This is Ninja Killer with his back up against the wall. This is Ninja Killer tapping into a whole new methodology here. A whole new character. Like, this is comfort zone for Ninja Killer. But Tweety's been here time and time again. The low gets punished, but here comes the breaker to save the day. I don't know who favored in that trade, but it definitely didn't matter to Ninja Killer since he's got a nice life lead.
Has a nice life lead. Happy to just sit here and block. Great duck again. Ninja Killer just calling these out over and over. Does he have the download? He is on the board, bringing our first set of Grand Finals to a Game 5. He's close to a reset now. The shift in momentum is insane right now, Arma.
I mean, and all it took is one switch over to a character that we know Ninja Killer plays like in every single Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
We know, and I'll admit, Liu Kang's a little bit underwhelming in this game. You know, not as strong as Liu Kang has been in previous iterations in previous Mortal Kombats, but Ninja Killer, you know, that's his character. That's literally his character, and he feels comfortable here. That is what I'm seeing. Comfortable enough to get around the mix, comfortable enough to duck under all these command grabs, and Tweety's got to mix it up just a little bit. I think he's got to opt to go for a little less command grabs, but still be super aggressive.
Yeah, I do think he just needs to stay aggro, like you were saying. Maybe switch up, like, where he's doing his kick throws or adding in some other things.
Ooh, if he waited just a little bit, he could have punished hard, but maybe he didn't want the Movado to come into play. That is absolutely heartbreaking there. That wake-up shouldn't have gone unpunished. Here comes the regular command grab. Doesn't care. Just straight
throw
from...
it out.
I mean, you know, you're blocking somebody's string. They're super negative, and the thing that they're most likely going to do is block. So definitely a good opportunity to do there. Fakes it out, trying to get Ninja Killer to overcommit to something. Doesn't get the flawless block there on that very punishable string. Does get the command grab this time around. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I mean, I said I hope he command grabs less, but two of them very successful there. The empty jump gets called out by Ninja Killer with that back throw.
Misses the extension. That's going to be huge. Oh my god, can Tweety take the opportunity?
Scramble.
Drops.
Scramble situation.
Big scramble. Oh my god, the overhead puddle drop from Tweety.
Can we also talk about the fact that he built more meter and he side switched by going into that special move? Tweety is hyper aware. Tweety is locked in. He's not letting this scenario like bind him down.
Oh, I can't take this match, Arma. I'm freaking out right now.
So good. The trade.
Oh,
Throw punish.
Throw punish.
Yeah, it's gonna do a little bit more damage. Almost 18%. That's going to be an easy punish, but you're really not going to get much from it. I think next time you might want to commit to the Mataro if he does have it locked and loaded. I'm so scared.
Oh, so much patience. Oh, it's so close. Oh, he gets the low spike.
He thought command grab was coming. Tweety called it out perfectly. One more thing, one more anything. A regular throw? A regular throw hits it! It hits it into the brutality, and Tweety taking it 3-2 over Ninja Killer, ripping his arms off and showing his dominance. Tweety is going to Final Combat after an entire year, almost an entire game of saying, I'm not playing this game competitively. Here comes T1000, and Tweety's back. Tweety is back.
No, Tweety is back, and he is back in strong form right there. What a set. A final game 5 versus Ninja Killer. Are you kidding me? This was back and forth, back and forth. Look at all these insane sets we had today too, even just looking back.
I mean, but yeah, looking back, look at the momentum shift there.
Yes,
Tweety starting at 3-1 over Rebel, which we can't see here. 3-0 over Ninja Killer. Ninja Killer sticking it out with Conan. 3 over Mighty Unjust, mostly in that T1000 mirror. And then Ninja Killer, you know, I've heard people before saying sometimes you need need that extra little bit of confidence that you get in the lower bracket, where yeah, you lose on the winner side and you go, man, I'm bad, I'm no good. But then you get that confidence on the loser side, like, you know what? No, I am good. When the pressure's on, when my back's up against the wall, I am good. And you know, that super close set against the Mighty Unjust was the perfect training ground that Ninja Killa needed to come back at Tweedy, but Tweedy just did such a great job of adapting there in that final game. And I want to highlight that again. That first round in the final game, Tweedy was command grabbing like crazy. Even though the command grabbing was what was Tweedy's demise, I feel like it was just a huge brain play to call out, no, Ninja's gonna know that I'm gonna be scared to command grab, so he's gonna open himself up to more command grabs. Then round 2 switched it up totally. Instead of going command grabs, low spike, and that was it. And again, the fact that you get a throw as your final hit against a character like Ninja, against a player like Ninja Killa is insane.
Going for a throw there.
I mean, but that showed, you know, you can't get into this mindset that like, yeah, someone's gonna know it's obvious, or I shouldn't do it, or I'm risking everything. But again, sometimes people just like hyper focus, hyper lock in on the fact that, you know, calling out a throw will destroy Tweedy. There's no way he's gonna do this. And I believe I even saw the failed tech escape where he thought that he was going to go maybe forward throw. Yeah. And that's just kind of muscle memory when it comes to your backs up against the wall in Mortal Kombat, get ready to tech with, you know, 2 or 4. And Tweedy even called that out. The mind game within that throw called it out perfectly. I'm through the roof for Tweedy right now, representing Indiana out in the Midwest.
Yes.
So good.
So that was so much fun too. I had a great time commentating and watching these matches with you. And yeah, I mean, it was an insane bracket. Congratulations to Tweedy, of course, for winning. Huge. I mean, we're on our way out of here. We got NA West coming up next.
That's right. And
we're gonna have a fun time. Make sure you stick around. This was it for me, Arma. Thank you so much too for commentating with me.
Of course, had a blast. This was incredible. Again, the most stacked region in the entire world, and Tweedy's back. I just want to say it.
Tweedy is back.
I just want to say it one more time. Tweedy's back, man. He's gonna be at Final Combat, and you know it's just great to see a player like Tweedy, because it's not only just, again, one more time for Tweedy. It's not only just how competitively good Tweedy is, but it's also he is so animated when he's out at events, like emotions just oozing through, and I can't wait to see it like live, on camera, on stage.
Oh yeah,
Tweedy, some of the best pop-offs.
Tweedy offline. Let's go.
The best pop-offs twice against, I want to say Sonic Fox, once in Injustice 2 for EVO 2018, and another one, Combo Breaker 2019, Tweedy versus Sonic Fox. Watch both those matches if you want to see what's to come at Final Combat, because Tweedy pops off with his heart. That's it for us. NA West coming up real soon. Guys, don't go anywhere. See you next time.
See ya.